Hello again, everybody. It's me, Marcus, and I review stuff. Today I'm doing the songs I should say, actually. You Can Have the Crown and Some Days by Sturgill Simpson. Now this comes from like a one video type thing where they performed, I guess, both songs live at a brewery. I don't recall the name of the brewery off the top of my head, but yeah. So it's still Sturgill Simpson performing these two songs live at a brewery. So knocking out You Can Have the Crown as a request. Somebody had requested, actually multiple people had requested that song. So finally getting around to it. And then it just comes with the added bonus that there's another song tacked onto it as well here in this performance. And I specifically chose the live version just because I actually haven't really done much live from Sturgill. I've done all of his studio releases, so it's actually kind of interesting to see what he can do live here. I'm really excited for this. I've enjoyed a whole lot of his music that I've heard so far. I think the last song I heard by him was I remember absolutely loving it, but I'm struggling to remember the name at the moment. But I remember I had called it like what was the term I used? I'm spacing out right now. Progressive prog country is what I call it. Progressive country, because it really was. It, like, to me, it was very much in the vein of country, but it really transcended genre in many ways. And I wish I could remember the name of the song off the top of my head, but I am just completely blanking on it. But yeah, really enjoyed that one. So I've really heard really enjoyed a lot of what I've heard from him. So this, fingers crossed that it holds up. So anyway, I'll stop talking and we'll listen to it. Let's go. Sturgill Simpson, You Can Have the Crown, and Some Days. Here we go. Sun King Brewery. All right.
Well, I've been spending all my money on weed and pills, trying to write a song that'll pay the bills, but it ain't came yet. Guess I have to rob a bank.
Shit.
I guess it could be worse, ain't that bad. At least I ain't sitting no Baghdad in the middle of the hot day of death, sitting in a tank. Well, time the wife talks, so baby gets mentioned. I'm so broke, I can't pay attention to Lord, how it tears me up to have to see her crying. Oh, I've been spending all my nights on the internet, looking for a clue but ain't found one yet. Just a bunch of Mopars, guitars, and other shit I can't find. Well, now Lord, if you can hear me, won't you throw a damn dog a bone? If a devil shows up with a deader deal, his whole soul's going down. Oh, I sing 'em real pretty, sing 'em real sad, and all the people in the crowd say ain't happy. Well, now call me King Turd up here on Shit Mountain. If you want it, you can have the crown. Well, I've been sitting on my ass like a bump on a log, watching Andy and old Boss Hogg. I guess I ought to get up and go out and find a job. Instead of sitting on the couch trying to find the next line, I'm sure there's gotta be a better use of my time, like figuring out which one of them banks I'm gonna go rob. Well, the name of the game is hurry up and wait low, but that ain't putting no food on my plate or gas in my car. Not to drive a Bronco. Well, now, Lord, if I could just give me a record deal, I might not have to worry about my next meal, but I'd still be trying to figure out what the fuck rhymes with Bronco. Well, now, Lord, if you can hear me, won't you throw a damn dog a bone? 'Cause if a devil shows up with a better deal, his whole soul's going down. Oh, I sing 'em real pretty, sing 'em real sad, and all the people in the crowd say you ain't happy. Well, they call me King Turd of Hell Shit Mountain. If you want it, you can have the crown. Well, call me King Turd of Hell Shit Mountain. If you want it, you can have the
crown. Okay.
Oh, I'm getting pretty tired of the state things are in. Sometimes I feel like cutting a vein, just watching it bleed.
Fuck.
Oh, I'm tired of laying it down, getting nothing on the other end. And people only want to be your friend when you got something they need. Oh, I'm getting pretty tired of being treated like competition, when the only one that can hold me down is inside my head. Oh, what's the honk you gotta do around here? Get a little recognition. Starting to think it might be worth more to everybody if I was dead. Oh, now some days you kill it, some days you just choke. Some days you blast off, some days you just smoke. Oh, now maybe I do, Lord, maybe I don't. Everybody says to be there, but in the end, y'all know they won't. Oh, I'm getting pretty tired, sitting around wasting time. And I'm tired of taking blame when I ain't done nothing wrong. Oh, I'm tired of other people trying to take what's mine. Oh, and I'm tired of y'all playing dress up and trying to sing them old country songs. Oh, now, some days you kill it, some days you choke. Some days you blast on, some days you just smoke. Oh, now maybe I do, Lord, maybe I don't. Everybody says to be there, but in the end, y'all know they won't. Oh, now maybe I do, Lord, maybe I don't. Well, they all say to be there, but in the end, y'all know they won't.
Oh man, holy hell, dude, that was a lot of fun. That was a fantastic song. 2 songs. I've kind of trapped myself now. I'm stuck kind of reviewing 2 songs at the same time now, that were sort of rolled into one. This is going to be a weird thing, so just bear with me as best as you can. So, I can't remember the last time I had so much fun just listening to a song as I did just now with You Can Have the Crown. That first part was just so much fun lyrically, instrumentally. It was just a fun song to listen to. And don't get me wrong, don't mistake me. Every rating that I give on my channel is absolutely genuine and truly what I feel about the song. And I give high ratings to almost everything I hear on my channel. So I don't want you to think this is like the only good music I've heard in a long time. Far from that. Instead, I'm just saying I don't know when the last time I've had so much fun just listening to a song was. Because You Can Have the Crown to me was just absolutely end-to-end fun. It was just a great listen. Some Days was also a very enjoyable listen, but to me, You Can Have the Crown really stood out as just being a really fun joyride of a song. But I did like both parts of the song, and to me, one thing that really stood out actually was the transition. I love how seamlessly they moved from You Can Have the Crown to Some Days. Very smooth transition. But yeah, the performance is fantastic. One thing I have to say is that in one of his other songs, I want to say it was Life Ain't Fair and the World Is Mean or something like that. I might have butchered the title there. But from that song, I think, if I remember correctly, he's singing about like his record producer and his producer's telling him, you should just make some more of that old pop country, or make some more of that Nashville sound, if you will. Be a little bit less authentic, be a little less genuine. And he's like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to compromise who I am as an artist to just make sellout music. And I feel like these songs kind of have that same same thought process where it's like I could make it big if I sold out, but I don't want to compromise my artistic values just to make a buck. But at the same time, I am struggling, and I think Sturgill Simpson recognizes how genuine he is, and he's not afraid to say, yeah, I'm a very genuine, authentic person. And I think that really comes out in this song. There's something about his lyricism and his singing that you're just like, that is a authentic person that I'm watching. He sings about what he knows, he sings about how he feels, and he can just really put together a well-composed song. He's not trying to pander to me. I think that's the biggest thing. I always mention when I'm listening to country, I always go back to Bo Burnham and his whole country music sketch about pandering. I've never felt pandered to in a Sturgill Simpson song. I always feel like I'm watching an authentic performance, or I'm listening to an authentic performance. So that's one thing I really got to give him props for. So yeah, kudos to him for that. Anyway, let's break down the lyrics of both songs and let's talk about each one. I loved "You Can Have the Crown." The lyrics were so fun. So I'm not entirely sure if he used all the lyrics here, like as he would, I guess, in the official video, but I'm assuming he did. If not, we'll read them anyway. So it starts, well, I've been spending all my money on weed and pills. I remember that part. That part made me smile. Because I don't know how many drugs he actually does, like for real, or if it's just like a persona or just a fictionalized thing. But this is not the first time he's talked about drugs, which whatever. If you're an adult and you can make those choices for yourself, make those choices for yourself. Well, I've been spending all my money on weed and pills, trying to write a song that'll pay the bills. So it's sort of, I guess, trying to find that inspiration, and to say that he probably doesn't have that much money left. It's not like he's spending millions of dollars on weed and pills. It's just like he probably has like $20 and he buys what he can. And that's kind of the vibe that I get from this. And yeah, he's trying to make it big. He's trying to, achieve his dream of having his career be music, But it ain't came yet, so I guess I'll have to rob a bank. I just love that. It was just so fun. It's just fun, like, I guess if I'm just going to be broke, I might as well just go rob a bank. I guess it could be worse. It ain't that bad. At least I ain't sitting in old Baghdad in the middle of the hot damn desert sitting in a tank. So he's like, well, at the end of the day, I'm still like a country music artist, right? I'm still a musical artist. I'm not like a soldier. I'm not off, risking my life for a buck, whatever. Apparently, according to this, Sturgill actually has had experience with the military. In his song Sea Story, Sturgill reflects on his life in the Navy. Interesting. So I guess he's speaking from a place of experience. Like, well, this is much better than what I used to do, or even much better than what I could be doing right now. Every time the wife talks, a baby gets mentioned. But I'm so broke, I can't pay attention. I love that line. It's such a southern witticism. That's sort of just a very southern phrase to use. But I'm so broke, I can't pay attention. And of course, just a fun play on words. But I kind of, as a teacher, I kind of get that. It's like, teachers don't make enough money. I mean, I make enough money for myself. If I were forever to be just a single male, I make plenty of money to survive and even thrive. But like, if you start introducing kids and all this other stuff, it's like, yeah, no, my salary would not stretch far enough to cover all this. So I kind of empathize with him here. Not that I ever want kids. I've said before in previous videos, I never want to have kids. I'm not as contradictory as it might be. Being committed my life to teaching, I don't really like kids that much, to be honest. I'm gonna get some flack for this. I really don't like kids that much. Oh man, I should have thought twice about saying that. I work with kids all day, and I enjoy what I do. I love what I do. But when I come home, I don't want to see any more kids. I want it to be me and my wife, and us just enjoying our life together. And she's totally on board with that. Plus, kids are just they're expensive, and I think more and more people my age are just saying like, yeah, we can't afford to raise kids. It's just not something that we would want to put ourselves through. And a lot of older generations like to call people like me selfish or what have you, but it's like, no, I'm not going to subject a child to perhaps the discomforts of not having what they need, not having enough or what have you, just to appease some sort of societal norm. This took a left turn, all to say that I love the line, and I get it. I empathize with that. Anyway, Lord, how it tears me up to see her cry, so I've been spending all my nights on the internet, looking for a clue but ain't found one yet. Just a bunch of mopars. Dodge, Plymouth, and Chrysler vehicles, generally in the context of classic cars and trucks, which is strange for the owner of a Ford. Interesting. Just a bunch of Mopars, guitars, and stuff I can't buy. So I've been spending all my nights on the internet. I like that part too, because like when I was broke and like sad all the time, I would just spend all my time on the internet, just wasting time, looking for a clue, but ain't found one yet. Just a bunch of Mopars, guitars, and other stuff I can't buy. So he's already thinking ahead, like, oh man, wouldn't it be nice to have this guitar, this vehicle, this whatever? But it's like I can't afford any of that. Well, now, Lord, if you can hear me, won't you throw a damn dog a bone? I love that. It's like, hey man, cut me some slack up there. Because if the devil shows up with a better deal, this old soul's going down. I love that. There are like rumors about old artists. I think Robert Johnson was one of them who had supposedly sold his soul to the devil for like his legendary ability on the guitar or what have you. So it's like, it's sort of a reference to that, but also just like, hey, God, if you don't help me out here, man, if the devil comes along with his sell your soul offer, I might just take it. I'm that down on my luck. I sing him real pretty, I sing him real sad, and all the people in the crowd say he ain't half bad. So it's kind of like, yeah, he's doing a good job. He's putting out good music. He's making some people in the crowd go like, oh, this guy's pretty good, But it's just kind of like, what is it all for? Are they spending money on me? Am I ever going to make it big? To me, this is very much the life of a struggling, starving artist. And then this part was just funny. They call me King Turd up here on Shit Mountain. But if you want it, you can have the crown. So he is the King Turd. He's the turdiest of the turds. He's the king of the turds. But he's saying, like, I don't want to be king of the turds anymore. If you want it, you can have it. I want to make it big, So I thought that was pretty funny, pretty cool way to say that. Again, his lyric writing to me has always just been really fun and interesting. I've been sitting on my ass like a bump on a log, watching Andy and Old Boss Hogg, The Andy Griffith Show, and Dukes of Hazzard, respectively. Okay, because I don't get that reference. That's way before my time. I guess I ought to get up and go find a job. Instead of sitting on the couch trying to find the next line, I'm sure there's got to be better use of my time. It's interesting. When I first heard that line, I thought it was maybe a double entendre. Like, instead of trying to find the next line of music to write down, I also thought maybe it could be trying to find the next line of coke, just because he has talked about drugs quite freely in many of his songs. So basically, instead of just being a struggling artist trying to think of a song, maybe I should find a real job. I'm sure there's got to be a better use of my time, like figuring out which one of these banks I'm gonna rob. I love that he brings that back, kind of full circle there. But yeah, this is a dude who is struggling, man. The name of the game is Hurry Up and Wait, but that ain't putting no food on my plate. I love that line, hurry up and wait. Or gas in my car, and I drive a Bronco. Again, I thought that was a pretty funny double entendre there, because I think Broncos are old-ass cars. If I'm not, do they even make Broncos anymore? I don't think they do. So it's like, I can't afford to put gas in my car, and I'm driving a car from 1995 that, it's like I'm not paying I don't have a car payment or anything like that. It's just like, all I gotta do is for gas. I drive a Bronco. But I also wondered if it was maybe like a play on words where he literally doesn't have a car. He's like riding a horse everywhere. I thought that he might be a little weird enough to kind of say something like that. But at the same time, I'm not entirely sure. So Lord, if I could just get me a record deal, I might not have to worry about my next meal. But I'll still be trying to figure out what the hell rhymes with Bronco. I love that. Again, he just seems so authentic, so genuine. He's got a fun way of writing and singing, and then he ends it with the chorus there. Just a fun song. Love it. Man, again, I don't know if I've had as much fun listening to a song in a long time as I did with this one. And a big part of that was the lyrics. They were just so creative and genuine. I give it 2 big thumbs up lyrically. I guess I should also talk about Some Days. I almost forgot about it. I'm getting pretty tired of the state things are in. Sometimes I feel like cutting a vein just watching it bleed. So again, I think this is a continuation. I think this makes sense why they decided to play both songs together. I'm tired of laying it down, getting nothing on the other end, and people only wanting to be your friend when you got something they need. So I wonder if this is sort of him starting to make it. It's like, yeah, I'm starting to make it, but I still, like, that emptiness is still there, and now on top of it, I have fake people kind of coming to me only when they need something. Well, now some days you kill it, and some days you just choke. I think, again, this is talking about being a musician. Some days you're like, yeah, I put on a great performance. It was fantastic. And sometimes, you just can't get it right. You're just a little bit off. Maybe your voice is a little rusty that day, what have you. I think this is kind of a continuation, like I said. Some days you just blast off, and some days you just smoke. So it's like some days you're on top of things, you're productive, and some days you sit back on your couch and you smoke a bowl, and that's about it. It's all you do for the day. Well, now maybe I do and maybe I don't. Everybody says they'll be there, but in the end, y'all know they won't. Well, I'm getting pretty tired of being treated like competition when the only one that can hold me down is inside my head. I love that. I tell that to my students all the time. It's like the only competition you have is yourself. The only person you should ever try to be better than is yourself. The person you were yesterday. What's a honky gonna do around here to get a little recognition? Start to think I might be worth more to everybody if I was dead. So it still sounds to me like he hasn't quite made it. It's like I think this is actually a true continuation of You Can Have the Crown. It's kind of like, you know what, man, I'm so not making it that I'd probably just be better off dying at this point. I'm getting pretty tired sitting around and wasting time. I'm tired of taking blame when I ain't done nothing wrong. I'm tired of other people trying to take what's mine. And I'm tired of y'all playing dress up and trying to sing them old country songs. So to me it's like, hey, stop trying to emulate what's been done before. Stop trying to, put on your jeans and your cowboy boots and your flannel shirt or whatever and your cowboy hat and just do the same thing that's been done over and over again. Stop trying to be like the idols of old and make your own thing. And I think Sturgill would definitely be like the poster child for that, of just doing your own thing, like still being country music, but really taking it in a new direction. And I like that. I love that line. And I feel the same way. I'm tired of... I personally don't like modern country, especially the pop country that's kind of played on the radio, and we've discussed that many times here before on the channel. And a lot of it is just like that emulation of what's come before. I agree with Sturgill here that it needs to be taken in a new direction. Well, some days you kill it and some days you just choke. Some days you blast off and some days you just smoke. Well, now maybe I do and maybe I don't. Everybody says they'll be there, but in the end, you'll know they won't. To me, You Can Have the Crown was stronger lyrically, but this song, I think, provided a nice continuation of the theme that was happening in that song. So, overall, for both songs, if I'm taking them together in this live performance, I give it 2 thumbs up for lyrics. Really enjoyed that about the song. As far as the instrumentation goes, really loved the guitar throughout. I think, actually, the instrumentation in the second song was a little bit stronger for me. I loved the bass playing. I loved the electric guitar. That guitar solo was fantastic. The acoustic guitar that Sturgill was playing kind of stood out a little bit more. It was just, to me, overall, more instrumentally proficient in some days. With that being said, the instrumentation in You Can Have the Crown was, again, a lot more fun, just like the lyrics. I just felt like it was I was like grooving out to it. I was having a great time. And I can't really pick out anything in the first half there, You Can Have the Crown, where it really stood out to me. I was like, wow, what a great instrumental performance. But with the whole composition of it, I was like, wow, this is just a fun song. This is fantastic. It's so catchy and so fun to listen to. So overall, across the 2 songs, and like I said, I really loved that transition, that bridged the gap between the 2 songs. They almost just went right into it. The drummer kind of kicked it off and everything. I give it 2 thumbs up instrumentally also. I really had a fun time listening to this one, and there were some nice little beats and riffs to hang on to throughout. So yeah, it was good. Sturgill sounds great. I love he has that country twang while still being really fun and just sounding great. I give him 2 thumbs up as well, just kind of in general. And as far as replay value goes, look, both songs are going to make the playlist. I really enjoyed both of them. I would say more so You Can Have the Crown. That's probably going to be the one that gets the most play time out of the two, I'll be honest. But, man, I really enjoyed both songs, and I'm really glad that I got to listen to them both back to back. I would have been happy listening to either one separately, but kind of knocking out both of them at the same time and seeing that sort of lyrical bridge between them, I think was a lot of fun for me. So really glad I listened to this live performance and chose this particular video that had both songs kind of coupled together there. So for replay value, both songs, giving it 2 thumbs up. Overall, a really solid request. Thank you so much for the people who have been requesting You Can Have the Crown, because yeah, I can see why you requested it. A whole lot of fun, a great listen, and we just happened to get the added bonus that Some Days was tacked on there as well. I actually didn't notice it until I clicked on the video, and I was like, oh, there's actually 2 songs here. Fuck it, I'll listen to both. And the live version, I gotta say, this was a totally live version, and it sounded fantastic. It sounded like studio quality, man. I mean, that just really speaks to the talent of Sturgill Simpson and, of course, his other members of the band. And, of course, it wasn't just him. The other members of the band, you can see here, the people who mixed it and edited and everything else. It's just like they really put together a really solid live performance. It sounded just as good, if not maybe even better. I haven't heard the studio versions yet, but man, this one sounded great. Big thumbs up across the board, man. This one was fantastic. So again, thank you for the request. If you want to support the artist, go listen to their music. Sturgill said himself, he can just get himself a record deal and get himself on top. He can feed his family. Let's help this man feed his family. Go listen to his music wherever you can. One place you can definitely check him out is going to be in my Spotify playlist. It's got every single song I've listened to so far on my channel, including these 2. You'll see them. Hopefully I'll update it in time to get it. I forget to update the Spotify playlist sometimes. Hopefully I'll update it in time that it's on there. If you want to support me, just all the normal stuff you do on YouTube. Like and subscribe and comment. That's it for me, guys. Had a whole lot of fun with this one. Hope you guys are staying safe and healthy. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.